Hello,
Hi,
how are you today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Great. My name is Joellen Litz, and I'm interviewing you today on behalf of the Women's Commission
Okay.
because I understand that you have been chosen to be inducted into the Women's Hall of Fame. So, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And can you tell us your name?
I'm Debbie Tice.
What do you do, Debbie Tice?
I my primary job is I work at Extension, Penn State Extension, as a 4-H program assistant, and I supervise clubs that are in the animal science area, livestock, which includes sheep, beef, swine. Plus, we have 2 goat clubs, 2 rabbit clubs, 1 poultry club. I think that's everything.
Well, how'd you get into farming?
I married a farmer, and I was very happy to. I love farming. My uncle lived on a farm. It was the family farm for years, and I was probably the saddest person around when he decided to sell that. My husband and I were raising mule calves. We did that for over 30 years. Unfortunately, this past year we had to move off the farm, and we are no longer farming.
Okay. Well, back to your role at the Extension office. Can you tell me how many children are members of clubs in a given year?
Just in the animal science area, probably about 200.
And how many years have you been doing this?
Uh, in June, I'll be there 9 years.
Okay.
But prior to that, I was a 4-H leader, and I still am a 4-H leader.
Wow. So you literally thousands of children's lives you've touched.
Absolutely.
That is a wonderful legacy to leave for not just Lebanon County, but for the state of Pennsylvania and the nation as a whole, because it's important to have food to grow, to eat food that's produced here in the United States and not imported from overseas.
Absolutely.
And the care the children learn to give to the animals, that translates into caring for babies and children as well.
We like to say that we are teaching character and ethics and responsibility through animal projects. And we see it every day. And we're very proud of our children and our young people that have gone on, and now their children are in our program.
What do children become as productive adults that have gone through 4-H? Do you have any idea? Do you follow them at all?
Oh, absolutely. And it is, as you know, one of the wonders of Facebook that I can keep in touch with a lot of them throughout their lives. A lot of them, I actually am not a product of 4-H, but my sons were in 4-H. They're both in ag-related jobs, and it doesn't have to be ag-related, but I have some who've gone on to be business people and lawyers and farmers themselves and teachers and every other thing you can imagine.
Any politicians in the group?
Well, not that I'm aware of, but I believe there's some who could be persuaded to go that direction.
Had to throw that question in there.
Absolutely.
Forgive me. Tell me about your family, your husband, your children, your parents.
My husband grew up on a farm, and after we got married, we were not on a farm, but he worked in the meat processing business, and we had our own businesses for a while. I have 2 boys, and both of them went on to, they're both grown. My oldest son is now trucking livestock throughout a couple states to slaughter plants. My youngest son lives in Iowa and is a manager of a show barn facility out there, and as we like to say, living the dream, because if you love showing cattle, he's doing exactly what he wants to be doing.
That is wonderful.
I have 3 grandchildren from my oldest son, and they are all in 4-H as well.
Cool. And how about your parents, Deb?
My mother is deceased, but my dad is with us yet, and he's a very active part of our family. He's a very active 82, be 83 in June, and he loves baseball, Penn State, and singing. He sings in the barbershop chorus and quartet, yeah.
No way.
Absolutely.
Is he with Ed Matthews that
No,
sings here?
no.
No?
Well, he's in that chorus, but
Uh-huh.
they're in separate quartets.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, him and Ed, they go back a ways, yeah.
Cool.
And I grew up on barbershop singing, and little known tidbit, even though I'm known around here in this parts for agriculture, my degree is in music education, and I am the organist and choir director at my church.
Well, that's a great service. It's hard to find organists these
Yes, it
days.
is.
And which church is that?
Mill Creek Lutheran in Newmanstown.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, it's their game.
thank you.
Yeah, they've kept you to themselves and have not shared that skill, or other people would be asking, I'm sure. So, other than the 4-H, tell us about things that you do that make fulfill you as a woman, or that you contribute to society or help the community. Do I understand you help out as a school? Did you say?
Well, I do substitute teach, and I love that, but actually, as you know, with substituting in anything, you never know, and because of leaving the farm and needing to have more income, my job with Extension is part-time, so I work with the WISE SAC program, which stands for School Age Child Care, and right now I'm at a couple different schools. I do that. It's basically in the morning before the children go to school from 7 in the morning to about 9 o'clock, and then after school till 6 o'clock.
And what kind of things happen in a typical morning or afternoon? Do you Are the children read to? Do they sing? Are they helped with their homework?
Well, in the morning, it's pretty much they come in. If they need breakfast, they get it. Then we have, it depends which site I'm at. Every site's a little bit different, even though they're pretty much run the same way. But we do group games when we can. Get into the gym in some facilities we cannot. So it just depends on which school we're in. In the afternoon, it's more about we come in, have a snack, then we do homework, then we get to games or whatever else they'd like to do.
Okay. Well, that's keeping them in a constructive mode, and they're
Correct.
not
Yeah.
getting into nonsense is what I meant to say.
And I realize it is quite a service to parents, because on these snow days and late starts and whatever, I mean, parents were scrambling to try to figure out what to do next.
Absolutely.
And was very blessed that I was able to be home with both my children, and I know it is very hard for parents to have to leave, and knowing they want to know that their kids are in a safe environment.
Yes.
And SAC is really a great thing, and I'm really not campaigning for them, but they have cost sharing if there's a need. There's all kinds of possibilities, and it is a good program. Of course, all the people involved with the program are screened and all that kind of thing. But that's one thing I do. I really, really love when I substitute. I usually do that at Northern Lebanon, and I do a lot in the ag department there. Besides that, I work with I am the coordinator of the CART team in Lebanon County, which stands for County Animal Response Team. For example, last week or whenever that storm was that we had the ice and a shelter was set up at Salvation Army, they called me to bring in some dog crates in case people brought dogs in. Because in this day and age, we really need to coast shelter. It's just been we learned that lesson after Katrina, that people will not leave without their pets. So we try to provide for the pets as well.
It's good therapy for the pet and the owner.
Absolutely.
And other people enjoy having the pets around too.
Absolutely.
Indeed. Okay, well, let's see. What is your philosophy of life? What makes you tick?
That's a hard one to answer right now. I really love everything that I'm doing. I would like to just be doing maybe a little less sometimes of one thing. I don't know that I have a philosophy other than trying to be happy and making those around me happy. That's always been my goal. I'm really a people pleaser, I think.
Well, you're not a complainer then. That's a good thing.
I try not to. We all complain from time to time. You know that, Joellen. But we all do what we have to do to make our lives work. And let's just say the last 6 months have been difficult because of having to leave the farm. So
I understand. Well, we all love you, Deb. You know that. And appreciate everything you do for our children. And so it's a pleasure to be able to hopefully lift you up a little bit at this time, at this difficult time. Can you also maybe tell me, if you had to give some words of wisdom or advice to the next generation, be they boys or girls, the children in our lives, what would you tell them? What do you want them to hear from you directly?
what we try to do in 4-H is just get them to care about themselves, respect others, and care about other people. and hopefully that all translates, because every year we try to incorporate more and more community service activities so the kids understand that you need to give back. And we're seeing them more and more doing some of that on their own. I don't have any one thing. We just strive to make them the best they can be, you know. It's not necessarily any one project. I have one young lady that is really good at what she does with her animals, but she's also really good at music, and is stars in her musicals at school and things like that. And she could go either way, but I know her plans are to become a music teacher.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
And so you're just there crafting that little mind and
I don't certainly take responsibility for it all, but we all need, as adults, need to remember that kids are watching us, and our models, how we are behaving, certainly should, will be a lesson for them. So we try to convey the ideas of good ethics, doing what is right, just being a good citizen, and I'm sure you appreciate that. So.
indeed. Well, it's been a real pleasure getting to know you even better, and I want to say thank you from all of us for the job you do. We are sincerely grateful that you are one of those hidden heroes that needed to be recognized. Thank you.
I would just like to say that I was very humbled when I found out I was getting this award, and I just didn't know how to react right away. And it actually came out during Farm Show, and I was at Farm Show, so I didn't
You
even
were
know right
busy,
away.
and it was unexpected.
It was unexpected. And actually, Sue Warner and I usually get together and talk about who to nominate every year. And in fact, I nominated Letty Shadler for the first award. And to think of me being in the same category with Letty Shadler, that's unbelievable.
No, it's well deserved.
Well, thank you very much.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for your time today.
You're welcome.